What is up, everybody? It's Hurls. We are back with a Heelcast episode. Believe it or not, joining me tonight from South Florida, Goldberg. Goldberg, what's up?
Hey, yo. Back to be good to be back in the game, Hurls. Good to hear your voice again, man.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a long time since we did this show.
It's been so long that I don't even remember our OnlyFans name. Do you? OnlyFans.
I like what you did there. Dinesh?
There you go. Good job.
Dinesh?
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't completely forget about you, Dinesh. Only one half of us did.
Yeah. So I guess like one of the main things we should talk about is why the hiatus. Why the long hiatus? And I think we both got different reasons why we've not done this show. But the main thing is just it's hard to get five guys, any five, that can get to a podcast and devote, quality time. We are very busy in our lives. We're not in our 20s anymore, and some of us aren't even in our 30s.
RVE coming out as trans threw us off. He's transitioning right now, and that was just break. That was tough to swallow.
Yeah, that was. It's going to take him a while before he can come back, and he might sound a little different. So, it might not be, what you remember him by. So, I don't know what he's going to be called. I don't know if it's going to be Ravina or what. But no. So seriously though, we've been very busy. It's been tough.
Unfortunately, but it feels good to be back.
Yes, it does.
And we miss our compatriots for sure.
We do. And we would love to do more episodes, but it all just depends on, timing and whatnot.
We may have a big one coming up in October.
Yes. That one. Oh my goodness. I don't want to give the details away yet for that one, but
no, but we definitely need to record that one all together live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. I do want to say this though, and this kind of gives a hint for our October show. But Goldberg, I made history with the Heelcast. I met you down in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And then 4 months later, I met Impact Dude.
I want to hear about this. I did not hear about this. How was that? I did not hear about this.
So we didn't get to hang out like a super long time, but we did go out to a Japanese place. He Impact Dude messaged me and basically said that he was going to be in my neck of the woods for a few days. But he was here for business, but he had a night where he could hang out. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, where do you want to go? He told me like what restaurant, what kind of restaurants he likes. So I was like, all right, let's go here. And we hung out and we had a bunch of sushi and I had sushi. He didn't. But we talked.
Wait, hold on. What did he eat?
He had hibachi.
Was it just the two of you?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I go to this place so often. The waitress knows my name. So she knows what I'm going to order.
Was there alcohol involved in this meal?
I think we had one Sapporo. We both had a Sapporo, the Japanese beer. So, yeah.
Was there any wrestling discussion at this
point? Absolutely. I think we were talking who the GOAT was. We kind of had the GOAT discussion.
Did you both agree that it was Orange Cassidy, or you kind of?
We had to think long and hard about him being the GOAT because he's got quite an impressive resume.
Yeah, man.
But it was a good discussion though. It was good to finally meet him.
I'm really glad. Yeah, I'm glad you two. Well, now the ice is broken for me and you and him. But
yes,
Briggs in October.
Yes.
Me and the two of them. you already met two of us. So
Yeah, I already got 2 out of 5. So
yeah, you're going in.
or 2 out of
like,
4
yeah,
at this point. I can't count
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Griggs and RVE. That's all I got to meet, really.
Man, we may have to figure out a way to get Ravina over there.
Yeah, exactly on the West Coast there. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. That I finally got to meet 2 fellow heel casters, so I think that was a cool moment.
I wish me and you could have spent a little more time together.
Yeah, that was real. That was real quick. Yeah.
I think we both might have had a few alcoholic drinks under our belt that night.
Yeah, you caught me after the Mardi Gras parade. By the point I was drinking all day, and then my kids were just tired.
That's how it goes. That's fun. That's nothing more fun than that. I mean, how are you getting back to the hotel? You're taking the bus, right? Or
we took the bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Those
Exactly.
Experiences. Yeah.
Exactly. You can drink as much as you want and not care.
So much fun.
Well, absolutely, especially how they're doing the Mardi Gras stuff down there now, adding like the food booths and stuff. But that we're gonna save that for the next show after the wrestling one. So
looking forward to it.
Yes. So anyways, let's get into the wrestling talk here. I think the first piece of news, and Goldberg, how do you want to start this? Do you want to go negative? Do you want to go positive?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, essentially, anything AEW is probably going to be negative from us. So should we talk about? Okay, let's address the elephant in the room here. If you've been following social media, you probably saw a fellow heelcaster take some heat over a tweet. I'm going to let Impact Dude answer for that one. I'm just going to let you guys know, if you're listening to this, we are not, what's the term? Some of you may call us some names that, you think we are, in a negative connotation, but it's fine. We have our viewpoints. It's what we think. That's why we live in the air.
We also don't, all of us do not agree on all our viewpoints.
Correct.
However, I support everybody's viewpoints and the right to have their own viewpoints. And we definitely all don't agree when it comes to certain topics or discussions, but I totally would have any of our backs when it comes to expressing any kind of opinion that one of us may have. And, we all have the right to have our own opinion. So,
absolutely.
But, yeah, that doesn't mean I totally agreed with this one, but
sure. Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I mean, I think it's you can't really sum it up with everything. You would need to do a whole discussion on why you would think this way or that way, because I think there's more context that needs to be involved.
Right.
But I'm not going to speak for Impact Dude. I'm not going to speak, well, AEW Dude, whatever he goes by now, Dirt Sheet Dude, something like that. I'm not going to speak for him.
Just met Hurls Dude.
Yeah, Hurls Dude. Just met Hurls Dude. There you go. I hate the happy birthday song in the Japanese restaurant, dude. I'm going to let him speak for that. So hopefully we'll get him on. I'm sure he will go more into detail.
If anything, October, we got to.
Yeah.
We got to talk that up.
Absolutely.
If anybody is still listening to us, October,
correct.
we got a big show coming.
Correct. And I was just say, I will, I'm going to let him go into full detail on that. And I have my own views about this. So I think what we all really want is just to get back to good wrestling.
Absolutely.
And this tweets like this from wrestlers, I just think that takes away. It takes away from what we all loved about pro wrestling. We didn't care about Twitter. We don't care about political views, and maybe that's the downfall of it all, is just having social media. But yeah, that's really all I'm going to say about that. And I hate to be vague, but it's just not my place to speak on this.
Right.
I wasn't the one that was involved in it. So, well, not really anyways. So I'm just going to let that be that. And we're going to move on to the next topic. So one thing I will speak on, though, is our next subject here. Let's talk about Brody King and Dutch Mantel. Kind of Goldberg, do you remember what the tweet was specific about? Oh, it was about the CM Punk sign, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It was about CM Punk grabbing the trans kids sign.
Yeah. Yes. Protect LGBTQ youth, I believe it was.
Yes.
I believe Dutch Mantel kind of questioned why you would do this, why have anything controversial, right? Paraphrasing.
Right. Not even picking a side.
Right.
Really, but just
Just
saying
like
why.
neutral.
Right.
Yep. And then Brody King called him. I know he said more than just called him a bag of shit, but he did say something a little before that. Oh, he kind of like he made some comparison. Would you stay silent or something over? I'm not really sure, but he called Dutch Mantel a bag of shit. Like basically just for Dutch Mantel bringing something controversial. And I do want to add that I do want to, before we get into this happened off air. It was not on TV.
Right.
So we should keep that in mind when we're discussing this. But Goldberg, I know you got thoughts on this. So
I'm just so sick of these nobody wrestlers making comments, making any kind of controversial comments. Like, it's just Dutch Mantel. All right, maybe at this point in his career, he's not as prominent a figure in wrestling as he once was. But he's got a nice following on Twitter, and you know what? He didn't even pick a side. Like, he didn't even say. As far as I know, did he? Did he really even say like whether he agreed or disagreed with what was going on with CM Punk, or he just said this shouldn't be? I guess they people like Brody, whatever his name is, take the fact when people say it shouldn't be brought into wrestling or shouldn't be involved in wrestling, they take that as, well, we don't agree with it, right?
Correct.
Right. So
that's exactly what it is. Exactly. Like,
right.
If you say this shouldn't be controversial, they basically say that you are anti this, or you're against.
It's always that side, or the rebuttal comment, taking it to the next level and calling a guy who's made a nice living in the wrestling industry, Dutch Mantel, calling him a bag of shit. Who are you to call him a bag of shit? You're a nobody. You've never been in anybody. You came in and people thought, oh, maybe this guy could be something. You faded into obscurity. You're the sidekick to another nobody who also faded into obscurity. And you're in a group that's been dead for years and nobody cares about. Like, keep your comments to yourself, dude. Like, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit what you have to say, and your scary look with all your tattoos. Like, this is like, I don't know. I'm not all for the people who are nobodies making comments. When it's not like Dutch Mantel came out and said, like, I mean, even if he did, I would defend it. But he didn't come out and say like, "Oh, this is disgusting. It's pedophilia to defend children transitioning at a certain age." Like, he didn't say anything about. He didn't put any opinion into it. So I don't know. I'm not even necessarily worried about giving an opinion on the topic. But the reaction of this fool calling him a bag of shit is pretty ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that he comes out with this vitriol and just calls him a bag of shit, like, how freaking disrespectful. And how about you debate? Like, instead of just coming out and just coming at the guy,
they don't want to debate.
No, they just want to keep in their own bubble. But I'll tell you this though, Dutch Mantel has done almost everything you can possibly do. He was in Mid-South. He was a booker, a manager, a creative writer.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Hurls, on these people, these nobodies? Do you think they're using it maybe to their advantage to try to get over a little bit and like because they're nobodies and like they think they're heroes on social media for defending whatever topic it may be? Like, do you think maybe they're trying to like? You think that may be the case?
Well, I think it's like half they're trying to be trendy. B, they think they're being a white knight for the cause.
Right.
But like you said, like CM Punk's holding up this sign and he doesn't even have kids.
Doesn't even have kids.
Doesn't even have kids. I mean, we're gonna go and so it's a combination of 3 and 4. I mean, there's a lot of the bubble, right? The fans that are generally with the anime profiles, and they generally tend to be more liberal, and this is what they're pushing now. And when there's that resistance, it's like pouring salt on the wound, right. And they speak out with anger, and they just don't think. You don't think about like, oh, Dutch Mantel's a piece of shit.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Or a bag of shit, he called him. Yeah.
You don't even know him. You know nothing about him. The guy made one tweet, and you're calling him a bag of shit. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever dealt with. I mean, he started off in Ring of Honor, I believe. I don't think he's ever met Dutch Mantel. He probably doesn't even know what Dutch Mantel's done in the business. Probably had to go back on YouTube. It's just another thing of like not respecting the business. Makes you look stupid. And if I'm AEW, I'm reprimanding him for even doing that. But Tony Khan doesn't have balls.
No, zero balls. Zero.
So yeah, he's not gonna reprimand him for that. But those are the wrestlers that I'm looking at, and I'm like, yeah, you're not professional at all. You're indie.
Right.
Exactly what you are, indie. There's too many indie guys in so-called
bingo
these days.
Bingo. You just hit the nail on the head. AE indie wrestling. That's what they are.
Absolutely.
That's what they are. And there's no boss, because if Eric Bischoff was the boss, that guy would have lost his job today.
Yeah, well, any corporate guy who knows how to run a company
or Vince,
and knows what's best for business.
Yeah, Vince would have canned him too.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't bring that kind of attention. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
You're right. It's indie. It's indie garbage, and that's what AEW is. They're an indie company.
Yep. Well, anyways, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some good things. I know you wanted to talk about LA Knight, right? I
did want to touch on LA Knight a little bit.
Okay.
I did. I mean, he's this guy, and I did want your opinion on him too, because you're Mr. TNA Impact, Earl.
Yes.
Yes. He's had that reputation for years. So
yeah.
I did want your opinion on. I don't know how much you've been following his WWE career at this point, but his muscles are twice what they used to be. His mouth, as good as it was in Impact, it probably is twice what it used to be. And he has the crowd rocking and rolling. And this guy is over as can be right now. And I wanted your opinion. Do you see him as a future world champion? And do you see him as somebody who can carry a company at this point in his career?
Okay, you already know my answer on that. But I want to say pump the brakes here.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going by the Goldberg rule of thought here, he was kind of buried after the pitch dark match, right? The pitch black against Bray Wyatt.
Seems like a long time ago, but yeah.
Okay. So I'm happy they're pushing him, but I got to use your logic here, because something similar kind of happened with Moose here, because
okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
Yep, because Moose won the Battle Royal, right? To get the number one, the basically their version of the briefcase.
Right.
So if LA Knight wins this briefcase, he cashes in.
Right.
Very similar to Moose, and let's not forget like how he was booked before all this started happening. So he's fine. I'm glad he's finally getting that, shine like he deserves. But what's been the holdup?
So here would be my rebuttal to that, and it's not a great one because that's a good point you bring up. It really is. I get what you're saying. You're saying the same thing I said about Moose. When you get buried, you're buried for good, and there's no coming back.
Mhm.
Basically, is right. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
So the only rebuttal I would have is he was brought to WWE. Eli Drake was brought to WWE and became this stupid male model bullshit that he was in, and Vince McMahon was running the show at the time, right?
Yeah.
And his name, what was his name? It wasn't LA Knight. It was shit.
Oh gosh.
Can't even remember his name.
Yeah, it was so.
Maximum Male Models was the group.
Yeah. Here, you just
Something Max, right? Something Max. Max Dupree.
Max Dupree. Yep.
So I mean that's when Vince was running the show. So he kind of got caught up in a Vince McMahon and then Triple H taking over type thing. And I don't know that Triple H really believed in him entirely. And I think it may have something to do with what you mentioned off the air is his age. I don't know that Triple H believed in this guy being able to get over this quickly. And the guy just took over and he took over the crowd. I don't look at him as being completely buried because he's just come such a long way the last couple months into the guy he almost was in TNA, except he's bigger muscles now, and the
Yeah.
guy we know he could talk. He can always talk, and he has the crowd literally at his fingertips in an MJF type of way. But I mean, listen, we'd catch flack for this, but this guy has. I think he has more potential than MJF. I know RVE is gonna probably come after me for that one, but I mean, maybe age wise that may not be true, but I mean he's at the point right now where he's about to take the next step, and yeah, the difference is I don't know. I don't really remember that he was buried in that stupid pitch black match at this point, which maybe is a little hypocritical of me, but I don't really remember it.
That's what I'm going to say next time you don't like a Moose booking. I don't remember that. Yeah, I'm going to have to circle back with you.
But he did circle back. Nice, well played. But he was stuck with Vince, right? He was stuck when he came in with Vince, and then he went to Triple H, who I don't know that believed in him entirely. And now I think he proved himself. Maybe, could that be the case?
Potentially. I'm not saying you're wrong. You know my thoughts on Eli Drake. I think even maybe RVE would give you the slight. I don't know if he would think he'd be more potential than MJF, but I know RVE's a fan of Eli Drake. Like, I know that for sure. But I think you know my thoughts on Eli Drake. The guy's a star, absolute star. And I wish he could have kept his Impact run going. I get why he left.
He also refused to lose to a woman, and Moose didn't.
Correct. Wait, did Moose lose to a woman?
Did he not?
I don't think Moose lost to a woman. That was Brian Cage.
Wasn't Moose in the match?
No. Well,
wait, did Brian Cage lose 1-on-1 to a woman?
No, it was like a set. No, so it was a gauntlet match. If Moose was in it,
I thought Moose was in that match.
I think he lost to Brian Cage, but the gauntlet match is 1-on-1, and then the winner faces the next person. It's not like it was 6 different people.
Regardless, let's act like we don't remember that.
Yeah, that was a dark history. Let's just hope that stuff stays in the, buried.
I mean, the guy who booked it's still running the show, and now he's booking himself.
I'm just gonna say I don't remember that. I'm just gonna say that was.
I'm
gonna blame that on Don. I'm gonna blame that on Don Callis.
You know what?
I'm blaming it on Don Callis. All right.
Rightfully so. He was running it with him at the time. But let's. I'm gonna ask you one question, and we'll move on to the next topic. And I'm gonna lead the next topic real quick. I know we don't want to drag this on too long.
Correct.
Do you agree right now that LA Knight? I don't know. You really haven't watched enough of him at this point, have you, in WWE?
No.
People are comparing him. Obviously not. I mean, let's be realistic. He's not The Rock, but the way he talks is comparable to the way The Rock used to talk, and the crowd is reacting. The crowd is reacting to him in a positive way.
all I'm gonna say is we said the same thing 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
but
like
he looks different now.
we
He's
all
got the
knew.
look.
Okay,
He's got the look now.
right.
He
So
was
he's
a little
bigger.
guy. He was a
Yeah.
little guy back then.
Well, comparatively speaking, maybe to like Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I would say we may be taller than him.
Possibly. I don't think I've ever seen him wrestle live.
Now his arms are bigger than my head at this point. So.
But I just, you know, I mean, okay, thankfully he's on a platform where people actually, you know, can all witness his greatness. But
Yes.
I everything you're saying is what I was saying like 6-7 years ago. So
and
that's all I'm trying to
say. And good for him, because there's a lot of guys who didn't get that experience going from TNA/Impact to WWE.
Well, they weren't as good.
And we interviewed one of them a few years ago. So yes. there are a lot of guys who deserved. I mean, even Abyss should have had a little semi-run in WWE, in my opinion. But yes, this guy, the fact that he went from Impact to WWE and is doing what he's doing is good for him, and I'm really happy for him. And I hope he wins the Money in the Bank match.
And I prepare to be let down.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Seth Rollins or
I don't know, somehow.
some other flippy, kicky guy will win.
Yeah, I'm just, regardless of what, you know, my opinion of WWE is it's not very high. It just doesn't really excite me anymore. I just think it's very by the books formula. I don't think they do anything to like shake the ground of wrestling. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you're looking for too, is something groundbreaking. We just haven't got that in wrestling for so long. But I am happy that he's finally getting to do something. And I do hope that he gets to lead the charge there, because it's over, you know, it's deserved. So anyways.
All right. Real quick.
Yes.
Real quick. Your thoughts on Scott D'Amore and getting himself involved in a match at this point?
Well, here's the thing. Scott D'Amore was a wrestler. He wrestled on WCW Saturday Night. He wrestled for Border City Championship Wrestling. So I just want to say that real quick, because but this storyline's been going on for 5 months, right?
Yeah.
Bully, right? I mean, this is a long built storyline. This isn't something that, oh, hey, we're just going to get Scott D'Amore in there. So if you're a fan of storytelling, I don't compare this to the same as Karen Jarrett just kind of coming out there and 4 weeks later getting a match. I'm not
worried about Karen Jarrett. The referee girl was worse.
Well, yeah, okay, there you go. I think Scott D'Amore is actually going to be able to like handle himself in this. So I actually don't have. It's not like something I'm like asking for, but I think with the way.
Well, what about Macklin losing the title so quickly to an X Division guy?
Well, I don't think they had plans for Macklin. I think he would have lost to Josh Alexander. I think all their plans went awry once Alexander went down. I think he was going to face Aldis, and why not give it to a guy who's been with Impact for so long? That's my thoughts on it. Macklin is a good heel, but he's got a long way to go. I love what they do with Macklin, but
can Alex Shelley lose the title that quickly? Will Aldis win it at Slammiversary?
There's a couple things I'm looking at here. Chris Sabin has the X Division title right now. So if Shelley wins, could we see a Motor City Machine Gun match where Sabin cashes in for option C to challenge Shelley?
That's actually a great idea.
And that's kind of like where I'm kind of seeing this go, possibly. But if Aldis wins, then it was going to be Alexander versus Aldis the whole time. So, that's tough. Like I don't know. I would keep Magnus. I call him Magnus still, but I would keep Aldis looking strong if he did lose like a I don't know, like a DQ or run in or like a roll up situation. I think you got to keep Aldis looking strong if Shelley wins. But I'm just saying there is potential for a Shelley Sabin feud down the line, just with those factors. But I do think Aldis is going to win. I do think Shelley.
I want to see an Aldis reign in this company. So.
I think he's going to win. I think this was a thank you title run to Shelley. I think it was one that they should have given Daniels a few years back, like a long time ago.
I think that Shelley should bring back Paparazzi Productions.
Oh, there you go. that was entertaining as all get up.
It sure was.
Yep.
Let Kevin Nash come back and manage him.
Yep.
And bring back the Paparazzi Productions.
Right. Exactly. But like, as far as like, okay, Macklin's not a huge guy, right? He's not a huge. He's kind of like an Eli Drake in a sense.
He's a little bigger, I would think, than Eli. I mean, so I just saw Macklin wrestle in person multiple times, actually, in Polka Championship Wrestling down here. And yeah, no, I think he's bigger than you think he is. He's like intimidating.
Did you say what's
he
his
may
height?
not be. No, I don't think he's 6'1". I would say he's maybe 5'11" or 6 feet. I would say 5'11". I don't think he's that much taller than me, and I'm like maybe 5'10". But
yeah,
but he's big. I mean, he's big. Like he's got muscle. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's intimidating, and he puts on a really good like act per se.
Yeah.
Like
he does. He's good at
what
he
he does.
Strong heel. I just don't know if he was ready.
He gets in kids' faces and curses them out. Like
yeah.
he's good at what he does.
He reminds me of like Hardcore Holly in some ways, and I don't mean that as a diss. I don't mean that as a diss, but he's just got that old school heel. I just don't know. Like I don't think they're gonna hurt by putting the title on from Macklin to Shelley. Like I think both guys are just gonna be transitional champions. I think Macklin.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more out of Macklin, but that's okay. Like,
I don't think I don't know if his run, like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know if he was ready for that spot at that.
He is what he is. I mean,
yep. He's a strong heel, so I just wanted to put that there.
Let's do a quick rundown of the one pay-per-view coming up this weekend.
I got to bring up one thing before we go there, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, like, how are you liking Moose signing the 6-year deal? We're going to assume it's 6 years.
We should have touched on that. Okay, well, listen, I'm not going to be coy. I'm going to say the same thing I said off the air. I think he's I don't think he's serious.
Mm-hmm.
I was the biggest Moose fan. I think everybody on the Heelcast knows that I think this guy should have been the champ. He should have a Roman Reigns-esque title reign. And I told him that in person. Like I told you, I told him in person when I met him. And I don't think he cared. I really don't think he cared. So I don't think he cares per se to be a champion or make a name for himself in this business. I think he is what he is at this point. And I'm gonna accept that at this point. Because to me, this guy should have been the next big thing in wrestling, and he could have been what. Okay, hold on. Let me phrase it. Let me phrase this properly. He could have been what Monty Brown wasn't. What Monty Brown didn't turn out to be. And Moose could have been that, because Monty Brown deserved to be a heavyweight champion, and deserved what more than what he got when he went to WWE, which was a joke. Right? He was ACW, I think. Marcus Corvon. It was a joke, and that guy was a star. He was a fucking star, Monty Brown.
Yeah.
And his move was at the time, the pounce was a new type of finisher that people have copied since then, like the Canadian Destroyer, and buried it. But in my opinion, Moose could have been the next Monty Brown and done what Monty Brown never did, which was be a champion, maybe go to WWE or another company and be a champion there too, and really built a name for himself. But I just don't think he's serious. I don't think he cares, and that's fine. I'm not going to bash him for it. He is who he is, and I still think he should be a champion. But I'm realizing he is who he is. What do you think?
I think he did great with his title run. I liked it. I mean, I know he won by cashing in the title, but I love the whole, what he did to, Josh Alexander and the family. And it was a good heel moment. Like, let's not, let's not take that away. I know there was definitely a lot of times when he did lose quite a few matches.
Yeah.
But what I really want to do is I just want to say the tweet that Moose sent out about him resigning. He goes, leaving Impact Wrestling was a very hard decision to make. Since I made my debut in July 2016, I have accomplished so much in 7 years. Truth is, there are so many matches that I wanted to have, so many matchups to be had. But then I realized, unlike MMA, I don't have to beat the great wrestlers in other organizations to be considered great. I think my body of work speaks for itself. I believe my peers in all other companies and organizations respect my work. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Right now, when you hear Impact Wrestling, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle are the top names that come to mind. I want my name to be at the top of that list. So with that goal in mind, I have more I have to get done before my time in Impact is done. Not only did I sign back with Impact Wrestling, but I also signed the longest deal anyone has ever signed in company's history. A whole lot of work to be done, so let's go. P.S. I still get to annoy Tommy Dreamer and Scott D'Amore. So that was his tweet on re-signing.
I mean, hopefully we don't see any more of Tommy Dreamer. No?
Well, yeah. Well, the guy's got. Oh, we should probably mention that Tommy Dreamer has skin cancer too.
What? He does?
Yes, he does have another bout, unfortunately. So we're hoping, Tommy get better. Yeah.
Now I feel terrible for saying that.
That's okay. You didn't know.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But even if he recovers, I don't want to see him in Impact.
But there's guys that I just really like Impact's roster. Like I like that they got Eddie Edwards, they got Sami Callihan, Moose, Josh Alexander, you got Nick Aldis.
But you know what?
Macklin.
What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm realizing, and I like their roster too, Hurls. I also like AEW's roster, but their booker is an asshole, and he doesn't know how to book because they could have a lot of potential. He could have built the next TNA. And that's why I tuned in from week one. I'm sure you tuned into the first show from AEW when they debuted. I'm sure you probably watched it.
You're saying, but like these guys, here's the thing.
But I don't think Impact. I don't think wrestling is what we think it will ever be ever again. And that's why roster wise, I don't think it matters who any of these companies have because they just can't book like they used to.
But here's the thing, though. Everybody in Impact's got a storyline. I'm not having 120 guys trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them week in and week out. Everybody has a storyline for the most part in Impact, and they've all kind of raised their game by being in Impact. I mean, Brian Myers, solid mid-carder in Impact. You got Cardona had a good run there.
But he should I mean, in my opinion, he should be better than a mid-carder. But
yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
But another guy who he is. Another guy.
Mm-hmm. It's tough to say if he should be more than a mid-carder, but I liked his work. I liked his whole his group, the Learning Tree. I thought that was great. I don't know. I just like how they're booked a little bit more. And sometimes, they can be booked bad, but they all got storylines and they all got presentations to them where I feel like AEW has some of the same problems that WCW had with too many wrestlers on the roster, but the problem with AEW is they have no storylines, and the ones that they do have just fall flat on their face half the time. So that is my issue with AEW. It always has been. I still haven't seen any reason to tune back in to AEW. It doesn't excite me. There's really nothing going on with it right now. So
right.
But then again, my interest in wrestling has definitely gone down quite a bit since 2020.
I agree.
So anyways, let's run down this card here. Forbidden Door 2023. I don't even know what to say. I don't even feel like I want to give the winners of this because I just don't really care.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really wanting to preview it for the winners. I almost want to preview it for how stupid the card is. Like just to give my opinion on like the stupidity of the booking. But
Oh, we can do that.
I don't know. I mean, we really don't have to. I'll be honest with you. We could just wrap this up. I mean, I mean, is there any match that's not a multi fucking person match? Is there any one-on-one matches on this card? Let's
Yeah,
go ahead and.
there is. There's a few. There's not many, but there's a few. Do you want me to?
I mean, I'm with you. I like storylines, and none of these are one day storylines. Like, let's just throw these guys in a match. Like,
Yeah.
We could run through it in like 5 minutes if you want to hit it.
All right. Okay. Toni Storm versus Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's Championship.
We can instead of giving the preview on this or opinion, we could talk about how many women have come to this company and nobody gives a shit about them at this point. let's start with Paige. Nobody cares. Toni Storm. Nobody cares. What's the other one with the short hair?
Oh, Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott. Nobody cares. She's a loser. Who else? Yeah. There's more. There's more.
From WWE, I couldn't even tell you who else is left.
There's just more in general in this company that they don't know how to book anything.
No.
I mean, they put Toni Storm.
They haven't had a Awesome Kong. They haven't had. Heck, they haven't even had a Beautiful People. The only one that I can even say that's had a good run is Britt Baker.
She's the only one. She's the only one in the company.
She's the only one that I think that's really elevated her game.
Yep. She's the only one. And Toni Storm has come in. She's been a letdown. And to team her up with Paige and have them spray painting people like they're the outsiders is a mockery and stupidity. And nobody gives a fuck about them.
See, I go out of the loop with AEW. I didn't even know they were doing that, but wow.
Well, they're calling them, I don't even remember their name, something like the Outsiders. Bringing them in, they teamed up and they're spray painting people green in the ring.
So they're cosplaying the NWO.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what AEW is. It's a cosplay company.
Well, that's true. And I'm not even going to, because they are. They're clearly cosplayers. That's what the fan base likes. So, anyways. Orange
Who is the match again? Was there a title on the line in that match?
Yeah, there is. The Women's Championship.
Oh, well, then I'll take Toni Storm.
Yeah, that's what I'll go with too. I don't see that changing. Okay. International Championship. I forgot they even created this title. 4-way match for the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Do we have to run this?
No, I don't. Here's my prediction. I don't give a fuck. That's not interesting in any way, shape, or form. Who cares? Who cares who wins? Do you?
No.
On to the next match.
Okay.
I'm not even going to predict that one. Next.
CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima.
I don't even know who that is.
Owen Hart tournament first round match.
Oh my God.
CM Punk's going to go over because he demands.
CM Punk will beat anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite.
Oh, another stupid fucking 8-on-8 match that nobody cares about.
Yeah, and notice how I'm not even bringing up the whole drama between the Elite and CM Punk because I just don't care. I don't really care.
Well, if they had any balls, they'd try to make an angle with each other. But the Young Bucks are the Young Bucks and Omega are the least interesting thing in they don't interest me one bit. They're children.
But yeah, I mean,
I don't care about this match. I don't care who wins. And I lost a shit ton of respect for RVE's favorite wrestler, Jon Moxley, too. I think he's a bum.
What do you want to go more into detail about that or no?
I mean, we could just lay betting odds on if he'll bleed in the match or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't.
The answer is yes.
I really don't. In the match. Oh, obviously. Yeah, that's getting ridiculous.
He stinks. You think he's any good?
You know, I haven't really watched, and I hate to cop out. Do I think he's good? He's entertained me at times, but right, no.
Next match.
I mean, he's bleeding in every match. I don't. It's getting redundant. What the problem is, these wrestlers are saddled with terrible storylines.
It's the same thing over and over and
this
over and over. I just don't care anymore. It's the same thing. Give me something new. Let
MJF
Goldberg,
versus
let Goldberg come out and just fucking spear everyone. Okay, that'll be interesting.
MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now this is a weird match. I do know
Well,
who
MJ,
he was.
I mean, I know who he is too, but
Yeah.
MJF is gonna win. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, but wow, he's
But
actually
they
gonna
don't care.
wrestle.
See, we're predicting. Here's the thing. Here's what we're doing wrong, and we can move on right now. Honestly, we don't even have to do the rest of the matches. You know why? Because we predict matches over the years for Impact, WWE, even AEW, right? And we predict who we think the winner is going to be, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the idea, to predict the winner of the match?
yeah.
When it comes to AEW, every match you just went over is an easy, predictable winner. We know who's going to win these matches. The question in AEW is whether the match is a banger or not. Whether they're going to flip 80 times, whether they're going to super kick each other, whether they're going to bleed. They don't care who wins the match. They want a show. They want to see an acrobatic act. They want to see what do you call it? They want to see a show. They don't want to see a storyline. They want to see a banger match, right? That's the new term now, banger match. So it doesn't matter who wins these matches because it's irrelevant.
You're right.
It's completely irrelevant.
It's all about the Dave Meltzer 5 stars.
That's all they care about.
Yep.
They want to see 80 false pins, 80 false finishes, flipping over the top rope, super kick, Canadian Destroyer. Is there anything else I missed?
Flips, dives.
I mean, that's super kicks. That's
kicking out of finishers. Yes.
Kicking out of finishers. And then when the match is over, somebody else runs in and that's what they're looking. That's what these matches are. It's not predicting the winner's easy. It's that's what they want now. They want these banger matches. So fuck this company.
Okay. This is your favorite wrestler, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Sonata for the IWGP World Heavyweight.
Sonata, wasn't that a woman in TNA?
No, Sonata was an X Division champion in TNA. He was hanging around. Great. He was actually in the oh gosh.
Is that the same guy? Is this the same guy?
Yeah, Sonata. He was with James Storm for a little bit. Remember James Storm's group? But I just think nobody cares about. I mean, Sonata was in, I think, the Revolution. It was with.
For some reason I thought it was a woman.
TJP was in the group, and then they had. Yeah, he was in there for a little bit. He was also X Division champ for a little bit, but. Yeah. But anyways.
I remember the name. Yeah, I remember the name. I thought it was a woman for some reason.
Yeah, wow. I'm not shocked that he was world champion in Japan, but.
Well, anyway, Jungle Boy will win the match. But
oh gosh.
But Hurls, it might be a banger.
There you go. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, that's a banger, man. That's actually gonna be a banger.
I know his name's Okada. I just can't pronounce his first name. I'm sure that'll be a 5-star.
I mean, at this point, maybe some of the Japanese guys have to win, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't care who wins.
I think Okada will probably win that just to give him.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Next.
Okay. That's it. That's the end. That's Forbidden Door.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what's going to be the main event, but.
I think Kenny Omega is the worst thing in wrestling. I think
we know what you think of him.
Well, do you think he's good?
In what way? Overall?
Any kind of way.
I think he's good in the ring. I don't think he's good on the mic or character. I think he's good in the ring, but that's about it.
Yeah, but aren't you the guy who thinks like you have to be like good on both to like be like?
Well, I mean,
unless you're just looking for a banger match.
What do you think of Bret? I mean, Bret the Hitman Hart was never like a. master on the mic. I'm not saying he's Bret Hart.
I think
Bret Hart had the like just the natural presence.
I think he had natural presence and charisma, but he had a better look with the sunglasses thing. Yes. And I also think he could cut a promo way better than Kenny Omega.
Well, honestly. Yeah. Well, he also didn't half-ass.
I think I would compare Kenny Omega more to like somebody like Dean Malenko.
Yeah, maybe he probably about to have the same charisma.
He's not cutting a promo, but that guy could go in the ring.
All right, and that's AEW Forbidden Door. I don't really think much to talk about.
RVE and AEW WCW guy are going to want to come on after that comment.
Hey, they're more than welcome if they can get on. Well, I know AEW dude will, but RVE, I don't know. Or Ravina. Bring
Dean Malenko to your number one Kenny Omega guy. Now, yes. I think his number one guy is actually Moxley.
Don't you misgender Ravina. Okay. All right.
Well, it was fun to bash AEW for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I really got about. That's all I got for wrestling. Goldberg, you got anything else you want to bring up on this heel cast?
Their storylines suck. Their character development sucks. There's nothing interesting about that company. And I'm not happy about it. I wish that they were an alternative. I wish that I could watch this company and enjoy it. But they suck. And I hate it. And I hate that they ruined Sting. And I hate if they ever broke.
That's another joke.
Yeah.
But I do gotta bring something up though. Like, here's Hurls Hot Corner. Let's bring this back. What do you think? What do you want? Do you think what you want in wrestling could ever come back in today's climate?
No.
Okay, so you even acknowledge the fact that what's the closest thing? Would that be NWA to you? I mean, because they do treat their heavyweights like heavyweights.
Question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I guess we're talking about mainstream companies or semi-mainstream companies, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying NWA because it seems like they definitely book old school. That's a good
question, and I think NWA would be the answer if they book the right guys in that position. But we know they don't. So
right.
They have the right idea with the wrong talent.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think there's. Maybe they would be the hope that could maybe do it, but I mean, for me, like I would want to watch AEW because they're on TNT and TBS, whatever. I want to watch WWE because they're on USA, whatever the fuck they're on. Like, I want these companies to be good, but I don't think wrestling hurls, unfortunately, and I think social media, like we talked about this in the group text, has a lot to do with it. And I bash Brody King for mentioning his son, and I don't know how you feel about stuff like that with the kayfabe shit, but I'm just like, this guy's supposed to be a badass with his tattoos and calling people bags of shit, and he's posting his son's fucking report card. Like, am I supposed to fear you? Like, that doesn't. I'm not afraid of you in your house of black. Like, so. I think social media has a lot to do with the reason why wrestling will never, ever, ever be the same. And I think the NWO was the last time the lines will ever be blurred. I just don't think you can do it again. And I think AEW had a chance to do it because they had so many guys come over from WWE. They could have had them jump the railings and beat people up. And I don't think it could ever happen again. What do you, I would love to hear your opinion on that.
I think it can. It's just you gotta be creative in the right mind.
But do you think it can happen with any of the companies that are currently existing?
Well, do I think it could happen with the right leadership? Yes, I think they could. I think they could get the people talking, but the problem is though, it's also the people become more sensitive. You know, I've told you my storyline on what I would book.
I like it.
And I'm not, I'm gonna do like one Vince Russo thing. You guys all know I'm a Russo mark, which is fine. But Well, I shouldn't say I liked everything Russo done, but that's neither here nor there. Look at today's climate. Like, what's more real than putting real events into wrestling?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
these guys, they're like these people, like, they get so sensitive about this stuff. It would never work. They'd get canceled. So my ideas would not work.
But you're right.
Oh,
You're right. That you. I mean, I told you a couple of years ago that was the best idea anyone's come up with. I mean, the whole having. I mean, WWE tried it, right? With they sort of tried it, didn't they? With
sort of, but then
Muhammad.
it really fizzled. It really fizzled out so fast. Oh, you're
Yeah,
talking
it
about
wasn't.
Muhammad Hassan?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they tried that. And
But they didn't.
Muhammad
They didn't
Hassan was
go all
over.
in. I mean,
They
you
didn't go
gotta
all
have.
in, right?
You gotta have a group come out who maybe nobody even knows. 3 random guys who
Yep.
nobody even knows from the Middle East, and just have them beat up everyone and bring out a fucking, flag from the fucking, I don't even know. But
That was the last time. That was the last time, by the way. That era of WWE I actually liked. Muhammad Hassan, though, oh my gosh, just
so
that guy.
you think it could
So
happen again if somebody did it right, did it properly?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You could have taken the crap that happened with 2020 and made a storyline out of that. Like, you could have done so many things, but so many things are off limits, and you'd get canceled up to high heavens. But that's why all they want to do is just see these friendly matches with guys that
friendly matches. You're right.
And there's no heat. There's no heat behind this stuff. It's
You're right.
Repetitive bullshit that they keep doing over and over. So if you want to start booking real storylines, you got to start going with real topics, real subjects,
right?
Stuff that's going to entertain people, and not worry about having 50 5-star matches every night. You know what I mean? And I'm exaggerating, obviously, but you got to get creative. Start doing things that you've never done before, or start going back to the basics, because that's why people watched wrestling to begin with. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. That's my Hurls Hot Corner.
Fair enough.
All right, Goldberg. Thanks for joining the Heelcast tonight. It was good to be back on.
Felt good to be back, and we will
hopefully be back in 6 months again.
Yes, sir.
Maybe sooner.
We'll be back in October, regardless.
We'll definitely be back in October. That's for sure.
Stay tuned.
All right. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you thought it sucked, I'm glad you're still listening. So, peace out.